All right, well, I mean, like she just said, my name is Ashley, and I'm actually a double major in hotel management and marketing, and like I sort of try to put that in my e-portfolio. But let me sort of start with like how I came up with the idea for it. I had an interview for, I think it was Colonial Williamsburg, and they had like recruiters' information on the, what's it called, Hokies for Hire thing. I was like, all right, let me just quickly go look him up, see what I can find. And you know, like I pulled him up, and like I got his resume, his work history, but then I also got these, like a ton of other information he's done like through interviews and stuff. I was like, okay, he seems like a really cool guy, like, you know, we can get along and stuff. And then, you know, I was like thinking about like how much I already knew about him before I had even met him, and I was like, oh gosh, like, what if he looks me up and stuff, because like I already sent him my name. I was like, oh gosh, like what would he find? So like I quickly went through my e-portfolio, and actually did this presentation last year, but my portfolio looked completely different than it is now, only because I was a freshman back then, and it was, my e-portfolio was more of like, oh, you know, my name's Ashley, I'm a hotel management major, and I'm a freshman, so it wasn't really anything going on there. And I was like, if he sees this, like, I'm gonna get cut first round. So I decided to go back and kind of redo it, and this is what it sort of looks like now. I went for, I don't know, like I am a marketing major as well, and I'm really looking to see how like hotels can use social media to kind of, you know, enhance the guest experience. And you know, I want to make sure that's like the first thing you see. So I started to kind of incorporate like the whole social media aspect of it into my e-portfolio. You know, one thing I sort of did was I looked through websites and stuff for like products and companies, and I was like, all right, like how do they make themselves stand out? And one thing I sort of came to see was that one thing to do is that as soon as you hit their webpage, they give you like some kind of information like right there. It's like, this is what I am, this is what I do, like this is our product, this is what we do, and like a call to action. So mine was like, just get in touch with me, because you know, I'm a sophomore. Haven't officially started looking for jobs yet, but I'm trying to make those connections right now. And so, you know, that's what I started out with. I'm like hospitality, social media, going for a revolution, but we'll see if I get hired or not. And, you know, I give like a really quick description about what I believe in and what I do. And then below that, a lot of other websites. Is that scrolling? Oh, that's so cool. All right, sorry about that. All right, if you're presenting next, scroll up. All right, so yeah, and like as you scroll down, you get my name, which is important to know. And then a lot of websites also have like this sort of like broken up into thirds. And so what I really want to focus on was I actually have a blog that I started to kind of like enhance my resume, and it's like on my resume and on like my little business cards that I gave to people at career fairs. And so I linked into my blog that kind of talks about like sort of like tips that hotels can use to improve their social media. And then I also have one, this one goes right to my resume, and this one's to my LinkedIn, so you can connect with me other ways. But you know, one thing I really wanted to do with my portfolio was sort of sell myself, which is why I decided to model it after like a lot of businesses and companies do, because I'm sort of doing the same things in the sense of wanting to market myself. But I also really wanted to add like a personal touch outside of my resume, because you know, like I am a person, and so I kind of want to add that in as well. So I put a little about me section right there, and some picture, and then sort of, you know, how I got into hospitality and why I want to do it. Then I also linked it to my blog. Once again, that's like a huge selling thing that I'm trying to, because you can have like a resume, and you can have like 2 days you've done on a resume, but it's like, I mean, I've been told it's more impressive when they actually have something to see from you. And so, you know, like if I want to get hired as a social media person for a hotel, I want them to sort of see some of the works I do and like the ideas I have. So, which is why I started my blog, and this thing links right to it. So I've kind of incorporated all of it onto my portfolio. Now we're going to experience, and this is where my resume is. But I read a research study that says that pictures next to something are a lot stronger. So instead of having a resume, I just decided to throw like a couple logos on there. Just because like when you first see it, you're like, all right, she's worked at Crestline, which is a huge management company along the East Coast. And then this is like a travel research place. And then tech, because I'm an RA as well. And that also looks impressive too. And this is where I'm a camp counselor over the summer. But it was like more impressive than just sticking on like a resume, just to kind of give you more of a visual. And then I've also put like a little download thing, just so in case they want a hard copy, that's available as well. Let's see. And to kind of get like the more personal side of me, I sort of did like a quotes page just to kind of give an idea of like who I am, what I believe in, and you know, sort of the kind of person I can be with them. And like I have that blog, but I always like wanted to be, I don't know, like, have you guys had like a LinkedIn at all? You know, like this LinkedIn influencers? I love reading them, and like, I was just like seeing how you become one. I mean, I'm not that experienced, but I just thought it'd be kind of cool. And so this little thoughts is sort of like my own influencer section on my e-portfolio, as you can tell right there. I've only got 3 posts so far, but this is to kind of get more of an idea of who I am before we go into an interview, and also gives them something to kind of talk to me about. And the last one is contact me, which is just links to other places that I'm online, and then as well as like a quick, just type up something and send it to me. But yeah, so I mean, like, you know, what I really hope to do in my portfolio was kind of give employers like another idea of me before we get into an interview. And like the interview that I was talking about at the beginning of this presentation, we had the career fair on like a Thursday, and like I met him then, and he was like, oh, you know, interview tomorrow, and we got an interview Friday. And he actually brought up that, oh, like I looked up on your website and you worked here, and you know, you like this quote or whatever, and it actually like was kind of neat that he took the time to check it out, because he kind of had an idea of who I am, and it was like a more, you know, personal interview than just like, oh, what do you do, what are your strengths and stuff like that. So that's what kind of I sort of see my e-portfolio doing, is sort of being an online representation of myself for employers, because that's what I'm trying to do. But yeah, that's for sure.
What are those things up there? Those round
Oh, these are like in really old hotels. They have little slots. Like I don't know if you can sort of see. There's like holes right over here, and that's where they used to put in keys. And if you needed something, then you would hit the sort of bell that was by your key, and they would know who to come. So it's
cool. Okay.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah. Anyone else have any questions or anything?
So did you mention anything about last year's too? Ashley is one of our 2 people that's been in last year's showcase and this year's showcase. And this is a completely different portfolio than was in last year's showcase.
Yeah, I was trying to see. I wish I'd like taken a screenshot of my one from last year. I mean, it was like pretty good, but it was like kind of basic and stuff. But this one's like a lot more, you know, like it's like a call to action right here, like talk to me. And then here it's like, look at my blog, look at my resume, connect with me. So, you know, I kind of incorporated a lot of that. And then as well as like more streamlined and cohesive theme throughout of it. So
That's great.
yeah.
I have one quick question too. Something I've been curious about was this something that you were asked to do in a class at all, or you really just came up with it because you know had that thought process when you saw the Hookies for Hire? Like, was it more just personally driven, or?
Yeah, I mean, like originally we had it for my quick start to business class, but it was like really basic. They were pretty much just put up your resume, a picture, and like a link to something. Like I probably couldn't fit on like half a page. But then you know, I sort of like started looking around. Like really like Richard Branson, like all those people have like their own sort of, this is who I am, this is what I do. And I was like, well, I mean, you know, they started out somewhere too, so let me just actually kind of work on mine. And you know, as I started playing around with it and seeing what I can do and how I can use it to talk to people, I sort of like started changing it around to kind of incorporate what I wanted to get through to employers. So like it started with a class, but then I kind of took it from there after realizing that, you know, I mean, like business we're competitive, but after realizing that not a lot of people have that, and then, you know, having that on my resume and stuff, like they can look it up as they're going through my resume. So yeah, kind of grew from there. All right, thank you guys.